Welcome back to another Good For You Tip of the Week. Now in today's video, I'm discussing intermittent fasting, what it is and how it works. Intermittent fasting, also known as IF, is a lifestyle that alternates between periods of eating and not eating. The goal is to systematically starve the body by abstaining from food in order to trigger fat burn. Research is still underway, so we need more in order to know all the benefits, but we do know that it's not good for everyone. However, there is evidence, if done correctly, IF can help you lower your blood pressure and cholesterol, help maintain your insulin levels and diabetes, and improves overall brain health. So, how does it work? During our meals, the carbohydrates are broken down into glucose. Glucose is then absorbed through the intestinal wall and sent into the bloodstream, where it's transported to various organs throughout the body, and it serves as our major source of energy. Later on, though, the excess glucose that we do not utilize is actually stored in our liver and our adipose tissue as glycogen and as fats. In between meals, when we're not eating, or it's also known as the fasted state, the body will then tap into the glycogen stores and break that down into glucose in order to keep supplying the body with the energy that we need. Typically, an inactive person will take 10 to 12 hours to use up the glycogen store, where somebody who is more active will use it up more quickly. Once these glycogen stores are used up, the body will then tap into the adipose tissue to grab some of that fat to break it down. These fats are broken down to what's called fatty acids. These fatty acids then are converted into additional metabolic fuel for our body. So, thus, the longer the fasted state or unfed state lasts, it allows your body to go tap into the stored fat and start breaking it down to create the glucose, the energy source that we actually need. Now, losing extra fat is translated into additional health benefits. The hormone that's actually in charge of all of this is insulin. Insulin is the driving force that pushes glucose into the cells. Insulin levels match with the amount of glucose that's found in the blood. Therefore, right after we eat, usually our insulin levels are high, and in between meals, insulin levels are low. Because insulin is secreted after each meal, if you're eating high glycemic foods throughout the day, insulin level remains high, unless you're eating a low glycemic meal. Why do you ask if that's important? That's because constantly high levels of insulin may desensitize the body tissue, causing insulin insensitivity, which is actually a predisposition for prediabetes and diabetes. So, fasting helps keep insulin levels lower, therefore reducing your risk of getting diabetes. Fasting also has beneficial effects on the brain. How so? Well, it actually challenges the brain by promoting the production of neurotrophic factor, which is in charge of supporting the growth and the survival of the neurons in the brain. A common question that I often get is, how does intermittent fasting or IF affect women versus men? Gender roles dictated by biology have played a crucial part in the male and the female metabolic responses, not only to exercise, but to carbohydrates, to sleep deprivation, and yes, you guessed it, to fasting. Research has revealed that genetic adaptations to periods of scarcity can still be seen in humans today, back compared to hunter and gatherer days. So during short periods of fasting, like 12 to 24 hours, they noticed in the male body, men's metabolism actually increased 14%. Other effects of IF on the male body included an increase from 10 to 200% in testosterone utilization, 100 to 200% increase in growth hormone, and improved blood lipids. This also helped decrease the risk for cardiovascular disease. Women, unfortunately, do not respond the same to IF. They noticed that the women's metabolism actually slowed down to conserve energy and store fat in times of long-term famine. What does this mean for us? That basically means that women may not respond the same to IF as their male counterpart. There are different methods to IF. The first method is called the 16 and 8. This means restricting your eating window to an 8-hour period. The other 16 hours we are fasting. The second method is the 5-2 method. This is where you're consuming 500 to 600 calories on 2 non-consecutive days where eating regularly the other 5. Last but not least, there's the eat, stop, eat method, where you're fasting for 24 hours once or two times a week. Now, there are some tips that may help you do IF safely and effectively. Number 1, make sure that you're eating a well-balanced meal. Just because you're on IF doesn't mean that you can eat a whole pizza and lose weight and get those health benefits. Number 2, stay well hydrated during fasting. Drink plenty of water during your fasted and non-fasted eating states. Helps to flush out the toxins. Number 3, do not over-exercise. Last but not least, number 4, break your fast slowly and with a healthy option. Do not overindulge or overeat when breaking your fast. If you remember earlier, I mentioned that IF is not for everyone. Those who should avoid IF include, number 1, children and teenagers. Number 2, pregnant or breastfeeding women. Number 3, people with eating disorders like anorexia or bulimia. Number 4, people that have type 1 diabetes or uncontrolled advanced diabetes. Number 5, people with serious medical conditions. And number 6, people who are underweight and frail. Fasting can be unsafe if not done correctly. Make sure to always consult your physician before starting a new dietary program. I used to be an IF intermittent faster for 2 years. It took me a very long time to see some health benefits versus my male friends. The new Healthy Habits program that I offer and coach for actually allows you to eat a low glycemic, well-balanced meal every 2 to 3 hours. The best part is you're going to see results immediately. I've changed my lifestyle from intermittent fasting to eating 2 to 3 hours apart each meal. I have seen significant differences in my health, my lab work, and I'm super excited. This Healthy Habits program helped me, many of my clients, and I look forward to helping you too. If you're interested, DM me. I look forward to talking with you. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for tuning in to another Good For You tip of the week. Make it a great day, and I'll see you next week.